If you've seen any of the post-blade show podcasts I've done, you've seen this knife. This is from the Dylan Grace Blade Company, forged from O1 tool steel by a gentleman named Dylan Grace. And I've been following his work for a few years now on Instagram. He forges these really unique, beautiful, sort of rustic looking knives, and does great stuff with wood on the handles. Some of them are rougher looking, some of them are more refined, like this one. And I was thrilled to come across his table while walking back and forth through all the custom and knife tables at Blade Show. He had a great big offering of things, and I could have stayed there and gotten a number of other knives. I actually kept kind of coming back to his booth, and I got this one on the first day I was there. I call this the Wharnie Scalpel because it's set up like a scalpel with the handle to blade ratio, and obviously it's a Wharncliffe. What a great utility knife this is. Yes, utility knife, but also, you know how I look at things. To me, it's also a last-ditch sort of tactical knife too, especially with the beautiful blade, the beautiful sheath setup, which I'll show you in a second. From the many samples of this knife that he had there, he had, I don't know, maybe 10 of these. This one really called out to me, and it was this beautifully contoured handle. And later I come to find, actually, after I bought it and I came back, was coming by the table, I asked him, by the way, what kind of wood is this? And he revealed to me that this is buckeye burl. And one way you can identify buckeye burl are from the many little knots and swirls on the wood. And I was very happy that it happened to be that the one that I got from him was made from buckeye burl, because I am from Ohio and it's known as the Buckeye State. And we used to have a buckeye tree in my yard, and they drop the buckeye nut looks like a morning star, like the business end of a morning star. It's like this round thing with all these spikes protruding from it. But when they dry out and that casing kind of opens up and falls off, inside there's a beautiful brown, smooth, almost spherical nut, and it looks like it's a really beautiful sort of wood. So it's just kind of a nice little coincidence that the one that I got is buckeye burl. And then these colored portions are where the acrylic that goes in to stabilize this. Is it acrylic? I think. Whatever is used to actually stabilize this is the colorful part over here and over here. I like that sort of bolster effect there. You've got brass pins and a brass lanyard tube, and just an incredibly handy little knife. I've been carrying this in the waistband about 3 o'clock, where I carry my fixed blades. Lately I've been, I come in and out of these fixed blade EDC periods, and I'm heavily in one right now. I think the best times are winter and summer for me, because at work I can, in the winter, have a sweater or a vest or some sort of overgarment, because it's always freezing in my office, and that hides the handle of a fixed blade. And in the summer, same thing. I can wear a kind of a looser fitting shirt, something that doesn't have to be tucked in, and it can cover up a fixed blade knife. So I've been carrying a lot of fixed blades recently, the smaller ones, of course. And this has been playing into my EDC. And I'm kind of a goofball. I like things, even though I don't live a high-speed, low-drag life. I do like knives as self-defense items, and I imagine them in the Kali martial arts context, which I've done a bit of training in over the past 25 years or so. And to me, this is a great little draw it like this. So here's the sheath. Let me show you the sheath before I embarrass myself. But so this beautiful leather sheath, he does this sort of water molding. My brother's done this for me. It's how you make these kind of pocket sheaths, I guess. You wrap the leather around it. The leather is wet. You compress it around there, and as it dries, kind of like Kydex, it forms to whatever you're forming it around. And so these knives, these sheaths, really hold in the blade really nicely. I don't carry this upside down, so I don't really have to worry much about that. But if you're concerned about retention without having a strap somehow on here, you don't have to worry about it. It's great. And with some of his larger knives, he had a couple of these beautiful daggers that I won't try and describe them, but they had a very broad blade. And well, basically all the knives fit in these sort of pressed leather sheaths, and they fit really snugly, and I love it. There's no rattle, and there's no just slipping out. So this fits nicely in the waistband. This, of course, comes up over the belt or just attaches onto the seam at the base of your jeans. That seam under the belt loops, and you just draw it like this. And I carry these knives, fixed blade knives, mostly on my right hip, in such a way that you pull them out and you have them in your hand like this. In this case, I haven't switched this, and I'm considering it. In this case, it draws like this, which would also be a great way to use this if you're going to use it for self-defense. Of course, I don't use it for that. I've used it for cutting paper on this mat, actually, for my daughters. But it's a little small for my usual bagel cutting and lunch prep at work, so this hasn't gotten that duty at all. But just look at this. It's so beautiful. I love the rustic feel, leaving the hammer marks, and then you have the refined area where it's been ground. That's his DG Blade Company logo. He's got these cool knuck knives. I'm going to call them knuck knives. I'm not exactly sure what he calls them, but there are these stout, short blades that have short handles. They look like they'd be very easy to carry, and your finger slips through a hole, and then you just grip it like this, and you've got this gnarly spade-shaped or diamond-shaped blade that comes off of it. And then he's got a lot of other kind of more standard style blades. But this 01 tool steel is very sharp and very pleasing to the eye. So yeah, definitely check him out, dgbladeco on Instagram. Let me show you this with some other fixed blade knives. Now, I think it's a fair comparison to show a fixed blade knife next to a folded folder. So I'm going to do that right this very same moment. So here it is next to a folded up paramilitary 2, just to give you an idea of the footprint of it. Here it is with an opened Wharnie hinderer. So it's small enough to carry. It's really an easily carried fixed blade. This, if you have deep pockets in the literal sense, this could fit in there easily, and you could even clip this. I've done this for short periods of time. You can clip this onto to your pocket, and then you still have, so like you would have this clipped onto your pocket, except you have access to the knife. Now, I would do this again, and will do this again, but I'm going to replace this clip with something a little more subtle. In any case, it has it's pretty big here and plastic, but I'm going to get another a clip more like this, attach it there, and then I can just carry it in my pocket, and then have a fixed blade right there in the pocket. So here it is. Well, since I showed it to you, already brought it out. This is the ProTech SBR fixed blade. They're about the same length. Actually, very, very close to the same length. And then also with an awesome leather sheath, but way more high profile. This is a Chattanooga Leatherworks sheath. I love their work. They are in the RMJ umbrella. So with RMJ, Tomahawks and Knives, and the American Tomahawk Company. Beautiful sheath. Here you got your Dylan Grace Blade Company Wharnie Scalpel with the Sasquatch by Alex Steingraber Performance Knives. Also a great everyday carry knife here. Is this crewwear? Yeah, crewwear. And then two other fixed blades I'll show it with. The ever lovely Rapid Strike by Tops Knives. Decidedly more tactical looking with its double edge, and actually it's got very similar jimping. Love that kind of large scoop jimping. And last but not least, one of my favorite in-pocket fixed blade knives, the Copus Designs Ed Calderon collaboration, the Elvia. Also kind of a similar length, different footprint for sure. This takes up a bit more room with its wider sheath. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. This is the Dylan Grace Blade Company Wharnie Scalpel. Check him out on Instagram. I think he's dgbladeco on Instagram for just these beautiful hand-forged knives, fixed blade knives, and many of them small and pocketable, and then others larger and menacing, but all of them just absolutely beautiful, beautifully done. Alrighty, thanks for watching.